The first story.
I, 30 female, didn't tell my ex 31 male that I gave birth to his biological kids, twins, and he's now annoyed at me. When I got pregnant we were at a bad point and he had broken off with me because he thought I was cheating with my guy best friend. I wasn't. We knew each other since we were kids and there was no romance, and my husband, not ex, my current husband, is fine with me seeing him still and lets me talk to who I want. My ex was controlling and accused me of cheating after I stayed over at his place. I admitted that that was wrong and learned from my mistake that it looked bad to him and said I wouldn't do that ever again, but my ex still split from me. I found out I was pregnant shortly after, contacted my ex, and he told me that he wasn't going to come back to me and, "It's not mine, ask one of your other boyfriends."
I then blocked his Facebook and cut contact completely as he wanted no responsibility and just told me he knew I would remove the fetus, which is what he thought I'd done, but I didn't.
I moved to a different place with my best friend and her boyfriend far away from him and started fresh.
We all put money together to buy a 2-bedroom apartment and we lived like that for a while until I saved up money and we went separate ways, but they helped me so much in getting stable and they've gotten married now and my daughter was a little bridesmaid at their wedding.
Anyways, I met a new man who I've fallen in love with and we are now married and I'm currently pregnant again. He's the emotional father of my kids and he is their dad even if not biological. They call him dad and he is their dad in a way. He's raised them and loved them as his own. Now, my boyfriend's mom has, don't ask me why, looked at my Instagram. She was nosy, so maybe, but it's odd she's done that after so long. Maybe because he's single and she's thinking of his exes?
And she saw that I had 2 kids the right age that do look a bit like him. They both look like him, especially my son.
But she brought it up to him, I think, and he's now messaged me on Instagram asking if they are his, which surprised me. I told him they were and he didn't reply for a while until he then sent me a massive text saying that it's unfair I made him miss out on so many years with his kids and that he wants to see them. I explained that they already have a dad and that they won't know him. We also live a long time away and I don't want to disrupt my kids' lives like that because they're going to high school soon and I want them to settle well. His mom and other family are now harassing my social media and I'm not sure on the best course. Maybe let him meet them? I don't want to send them away with a stranger now. Maybe he's changed, but I still don't want him in their lives as he's a complete stranger, and even though he's biologically their father, he's not their emotional father. I'm not sure on the right thing to do. The top replies. The first thing I'd do is talk to a lawyer. If you still have those old texts of him saying he wants nothing to do with them, print that out. Once you are sure of your rights and his, then talk to the kids. If they want to meet him and you're covered with regards to custody, then you can slowly introduce them. But figure out your rights first. The kids do have a right to know him, but I'd make sure he can't sue for custody or visitation before getting them involved. You don't know what he or his family is like now. Get a lawyer. If you do not have the old texts, text him back or record a phone call, and in conversation remind him that he's the one that denied they were even his, who told you he wanted no part of you or them and then had implied he wanted them aborted. Get him to confirm this and then, remind him it's been over 13 to 14 years? You said they were getting ready for high school? Ask what makes him think it is okay to deny his children for that long and suddenly come out of nowhere, and demand a relationship with the children he never wanted and do not know him. Others are right. Your children have a right to know about him if you have not already told them about him. And if he insists, remind him, they also have a right to know the truth about why they never knew him. Telling them the truth is not parental alienation. Make sure you know your legal options before anything original poster.
But honestly, you owe him nothing. He lost all rights when he denied they were his from the beginning.
The second reply. Aside from the lawyer on the legal end, I would look into a family therapist. Have a solo session or two to discuss the ways to talk to the kids and to get feedback from them. Possibly have the convo in a session with the therapist there. Basically, I don't think you should hide this from the kids, and if they want to meet their bio father you should facilitate that, but it should be on your terms. My thoughts on terms to be tweaked by your lawyer or therapist. He needs to initiate and see through the process to legally establish paternity. You won't fight it, but the only thing you'll do is respond to what the court wants you to do. In that process he needs to set up his child support as well as catching up on back child support that should be owed. Depending on if you think he'll be flaky, set up a schedule where he has to consistently stick with, say, calling you. Just need him to call on time. A quick thanks for calling on time bye, to prove himself before bringing in the kids. Unless the kids have preferences, I'd start contact with emails, setting up a specific address just for that and so you can monitor. Then phone/video calls from there to eventually him coming to visit them. In other words, go slow, have him prove himself, and while you may have to slow down the kids' pace, don't go faster than they want. If kid doesn't want to video chat, sorry, try again next time. The email address would also be good for giving to any of his family members that want contact. It allows you to monitor it and allows the kids to choose when they deal with it versus it just popping up in their regular email. Assuming kids these days use email for it to pop up in LOL. The third story. My 23F boyfriend, 26 male, got his ex-girlfriend pregnant. I don't even know how I got into this mess. I don't have many friends to go to about this, so I decided to come onto this sub. Starting from the beginning, I met my current boyfriend Jared, fake name, back in January of last year. We met when I started my new job and we clicked instantly. He's funny, charming, caring, and definitely eye candy. We became super close and we hung out all the time and we would stay up all night talking on the phone for hours. At the time I met Jared, I had just gotten out of a miserable relationship with my ex-boyfriend of 2 years. That relationship really affected me and I was afraid to get into another relationship, so I didn't act on my feelings for Jared. Jared told me that he was willing to wait for me for as long I needed. I really appreciated that and I am so lucky to have met someone like him. Eventually, him and I finally made it official around Christmas time. Our relationship has been amazing and this is the best one I've ever been in. That is until a few days ago. A few days ago, Jared called me and told me that he was on his way over to my place and that he needed to talk to me about something important. When he arrived, we sat down and he confessed to me that his ex-girlfriend is pregnant and the baby is his. According to him, this is how it happened. He was at the bar with a few of his buddies on Labor Day and he ran into his ex there. Apparently, he got drunk and he started to feel a bit lonely. Him and his ex began talking and flirting. Long story short, they ended up going back to his place and they slept together. His ex-girlfriend is currently 7 months pregnant and up until now, he hasn't told me. He says he kept it from me out of fear that I would leave him and because he wasn't sure if she was being 100% truthful about the pregnancy. This has been on my mind for the past few days and I don't know what to do. Jared has given me space to process all of this, which I appreciate. On one hand, I feel like it isn't fair for me to be upset because him and I weren't together. But on the other hand, it hurts that he didn't tell me this when we first began dating. I know them having a baby doesn't necessarily involve me and of course, the only thing that should matter in this situation is the baby, but I'm not really sure where this leaves me. I'm not sure what to do and how to go about this. I've always been child-free and the thought of being a stepmother scares me. Jared is my best friend and I love and care about him with everything in me. My heart is so confused. Please help me. I would love your advice/feedback. The top replies. In keeping information from you, he stole your agency when it came to deciding to become involved with him. He flat out told you that the reason was because you might make a different decision, right? At issue here is not whether you can get over it. That is a red herring which tries to make it about the depth of your character, when the focus really ought to be about his character. Look, other difficult things will crop up in any relationship you have. You have to trust that your partner will be transparent and candid when he encounters hard things. Your guy has shown you right from the start that he lacks this basic necessity for your relationship. Things will always be lacking from him. Just move on. I'm really sorry this happened to you. Life will get better, I promise. The second reply. You're 23, and no offense, but you've only known him a year, and haven't even been dating 6 months. You think a baby won't involve you, the daddy's girlfriend? Rule number 1 of being child-free. Don't put yourself in a position to be a parent by dating, or marrying a parent if you really don't want to be a parent. It's easy to pretend it won't affect you, but come on, that's naive. If this is a relationship you see moving forward, it will affect you. Don't fool yourself into thinking it won't. The second story. I had a foursome and the guy never touched me once. I feel humiliated. I don't know if this is the right sub. Forgive me if it isn't, but I'm really hurt and I hope someone have gone through something similar and also felt hurt to justify my feelings. I participated in a foursome with my roommate, her on and off girlfriend and a guy the girlfriend met online. The evening went well, we had the guy over for date, and he was very excited. I thought everything was great because he was looking at me a lot during the evening even if he wasn't talking a lot.
I'm very shy, so I felt that I was blushing when he was watching me and didn't talk much to him either.
The other girls have done this before, so they were both more relaxed and chill. But as I said, I never thought that he would later never have sex with me.
Not even touch me tbh. I thought that he was busy, but no, he was looking at me, so he didn't forget my existence. I was feeling more and more insecure, especially when he had sex with both my friends multiple times but didn't even spare me a touch.
I had great time with the girls anyway, so it wasn't all wasted.
After a few rounds, I don't know what to call it, I realized that he wasn't interested at all, so I excused myself and went to my room.
Nobody suspected anything because I did have a good time with the girls. But when I was alone, my tears were just pouring involuntarily and I thought to myself how silly I was being, but I couldn't stop. I felt so ugly and disgusting and so embarrassed.
I kept wondering why.
I know you can't control what you are attracted to, but why not me? What was wrong with me? Next morning I woke up and went to the kitchen for coffee and he was there. He was pleasant and asked how I was and that he was exhausted and laughed about it. I mumbled that I was tired too and tried to go back to my room, but he just asked, "Didn't you want coffee? It's on, you should wait." I wanted to ask him why not me? What he found disgusting and unappealing about me, but I came to my senses and just put my AirPods on so he wouldn't talk to me.
He was just looking at me with mild interest.
I don't know why, but it angered me further. My roommate told me that they were inviting him again. That was last Friday. I told her that I had fun but not to count me on this time. I was on my way out to my friend's apartment when he arrived and he was very surprised that I wasn't joining in this time. When I left the apartment, he ran after me to ask if something was wrong and if he did anything wrong, and I wanted to yell yes, but I just said that I had plans and wasn't in the mood. So, I have been feeling irrationally angry. Like I have been rejected before and I have been nothing but understanding. I mean, people are people, they can't be attracted to all, and I never took rejection as something personal. Like I was flawed and disgusting. But I don't with this one. The setting was different. I felt rejected while naked and vulnerable. I don't know how these foursomes work. Is it normal to totally ignore one participant? Justified? Why was he showing interest before and even after? I'm going mad in my little insecure head. Ps. We are all late 20s. F. The top replies. If he's gonna be around more frequently, it might be nice to get it off your chest, in real life and just let him know that it wasn't as fun because he wouldn't participate with you. It doesn't need to be an argument and he doesn't even really need to apologize, but clearing the air could help you move on. The second reply. Hey, original poster. Since he only knew your roommate, I'm guessing he assumed only her and her girlfriend were interested in having sex with him. This might have been reinforced by him seeing your shyness and only interacting with the girls. Maybe he thought you aren't into men?
I'm not saying it's either of your faults at all, but I think there was just a major miscommunication about what everyone wanted to do that night. It sounds like he genuinely wanted you to enjoy yourself and come to the next one.
The third reply. As a dude, we are really effing oblivious to women's emotions. You say he looks at you, but yet you act shy. Did you try to initiate? If not, then he might think you're not into guys and was just there for the girls, so he was probably just respecting boundaries. There is a clear lack of miscommunication. The guy even asked what was wrong, yet you lied and brushed him off. Nothing is going to be solved if you just expect him to read your mind, because that's impossible. No one can read minds. Just start communicating and I guarantee that all problems will be resolved.